Hello, welcome to the Dreaming Show. I'm Gabby Company in Melbourne, Australia. Today my guest is Jen Vandermeer from Finesse Business and Personal Style. Hello, Jen, how are you?
Hi, Gabby. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being with us on the Dreaming Show. Today the topic is so fantastic, dress for success. How can we dress for success?
It's so interesting, isn't it? Our personal presentation is such a reflection of our inner world. You know, we know that we're only, the outside's only skin deep. However, for most women that I talk to and work with, it is a reflection of how we're feeling. You know, if you're feeling a bit flat, you don't tend to make an effort, you don't present as well as what you could, whether that's in a business environment, whether that's personal. So, they are closely linked. They're a confidence game.
That's so true. Jane has been working in the fashion industry for 30 years. 30 years.
I
Tell
sort of
us,
regret I
please.
wrote that down because it makes me feel quite mature that I wrote that down.
No, but we are talking about your experience.
That's
It's
true.
so fascinating, you
It
know. You
is.
have plenty of experience and knowledge.
Yes, I do. I started my first business at 16. I was making ball gowns for my friends when we were all going to balls at that time, and business began. It's in my blood. I love it. It's just who I am. It was never a decision. It was always just, I just knew in my heart it's this great love story. So I've always styled women. It's a natural thing for me to put colour together, know what colours work together, be able to look at someone with their colourings and know what brings out their best. The same with shape. Shape's a really big one, you know. And shape is not reflective of what size you are. So say with me, if I took me, whether I am this size or I'm 5 kilos heavier or 5 kilos lighter, which is probably never going to happen, I would basically wear the same shapes because I know what shapes make the most of my shape. So if I'm on the heavier side of me, the heavier version of me, I know how to hide it, which is great. So
I like the combination of your outfit. It's really, really nice. Could you explain
Thank
us,
you.
please, to the audience,
Yep.
how do you choose your clothes?
Yeah, great question. So I'm very kinesthetic. When I shop, I touch things and I feel.
Me too.
I love fabric and that's a great love. So it's definitely how I feel. I quite like to be a bit interesting and a bit creative. So I like texture and playing on texture on texture on texture. Often I'll dress pattern on pattern because it's part of who I am. Every now and then I'll tone it down, but I often feel a bit not me those days. So I tend to dress in a very monochromatic way. In harmony of colour is what really suits me, and it actually is part of my personality. Like when I look at you in comparison, you're not harmony of colour at all. You're what I'd call high contrast. You've got high contrast with your colourings, you know, these dark eyes and dark hair, and the red lipstick comes alive on you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Whereas if we swapped clothes today and it wouldn't work with each of our personalities. This would be too subdued on you because you're so vivacious, and the red would overpower. That would be all you'd see.
I love red. I love red and black. Thank you. Thank you.
And that carries through to your brand too. When you look at your branding of your business, it is so reflective of your personality. As with my business or businesses, they are reflective of mine. They're much more muted, much more European, very monochromatic, and that's a reflection of me and my personality.
How do you work with people?
My favourite way of working with people is one-on-one. That is when I really get to know who you are, why you think the way you think, and how I can bring out your inner you. For many women, it's hard to describe what you do like. Often it's easier to say what you don't like. So you don't like this kind of look, that kind of look, whatever. So paint that picture and then work out what I call it, like reading between the lines of what you're not saying to me, working out what that is. So we'll have time together doing that. And then I will meet you and go to your house and we'll go through your wardrobe together, which is actually really fun. And, we'll make a pile of, we'll kiss it goodbye and give it to someone else. It's time to let go of a few things. Time to perhaps alter some other items that mightn't be the best length for your body or your physique. And then we'll make a list of what we need to buy. What's the shopping list? So it's not just a case of let's throw everything out. I don't work that way. I don't think that's a even sustainable way of operating. That's just contributing to landfill. I think let's make conscious decisions, make good decisions, let's find beautiful pieces that you feel really good in all the time. You pop it on, you get lots of compliments, confidence goes through the roof. You get asked out on a beautiful date by your husband, or you get that job opportunity or contract. You walk in with different confidence.
Excellent. According to your experience, Jane, do you think people are educated enough about wearing clothes, outfits?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're not really taught it. If I think back to when I was at school, I don't know with you, we weren't taught such things. So probably not. We're probably not taught. And then we look at, for many of us who are do personal sort of growth, personal development work, we get help in areas we don't know enough about. So this is, to me, another tool in our toolbox to help ourselves.
Yeah, because what I kind of realize is people, they pick clothes because they like it, not because they are suitable for them.
Yep. Or they're distracted or influenced by
Fashion.
Yeah, by fashion, by the charming, great saleswoman or friends who, we've all got certain friends that actually truly want your greatest good and know you and want you to look great. And then we've also perhaps had friends that actually they're being swayed by their own taste.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
As opposed to what suits you.
Could you tell us, please, about your business contact details?
Yes. So my business is called Finesse Business and Style. So the website is exactly the same, finessebusinessandstyle.com. Facebook and Instagram are exactly the same. And so feel free to, or further information is on there as to how we work with styling. Yeah.
For people that they are new on this, to have an idea, how much does it cost to have a session with you?
Yeah. So generally speaking, I work on an hourly rate. I find that works best because one person might have a highly extensive wardrobe, the next person, might have next to nothing. So I find an hourly rate works best. I also then can take you shopping, so that's a really fun experience, and often it's having that confidence and that neutral party to give you really honest opinions, because I don't have biases with shops. So yeah, I'm neutral and I'm on your team. So I'm 140 Australian dollars per hour, and then I come to you and we go from there. Yeah,
I think it's a good price, and
I
thank
think
you.
so.
Thank you for sharing that information, because what happens sometimes people, they don't have any idea about these services, and it's so important these days.
Yeah. And then many women I dress season after season, because you can see that, yes, it's an investment. I understand that. But when you're, like, what price do you put on your presentation and your in our case, our relevant businesses, or, if you're an employee, I've had employees land $10, $20, $30,000 contracts because they turn up and they show that they are professional.
Yeah.
And they know their colours, know their style, and their boss suddenly goes, wow.
It's an investment.
It is. It is.
Would you like to add anything before we finish?
No, just thank you so much for the interview today. It was lovely to chat to you.
Thank you very much, Jane, for sharing your knowledge and the information. Really, really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabby.
It was Gabby Company in Melbourne, Australia. See you next time. Bye.
The Dreaming Show.